Rookies were wild in Columbus last night as they took on the Vegas Golden Knights and skated away with the win. Today, we are going to be talking about just how impressive what Cole Sillinger is doing at the age of 18 is. And we also have to check in on some injury news because the curse has returned. That's what we're talking about today on Locked On Blue Jackets.
You're Locked On Blue Jackets, your daily podcast on the Columbus Blue Jackets, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Blue Jackets. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am, as always, your host, Jay Foster. Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before because BetOnline is where the game starts. Now, before we get started, I have to thank everyone for making this your first listen or watch of the day. We are now on YouTube. If you haven't found us there already, please make sure you go like and subscribe over there. We are free and available on YouTube on all of your podcast apps of choice. And I appreciate you stopping on by. Like I said at the top of the show, today we're going to be talking about the huge win over the Vegas Golden Knights, who continue to free fall in the Western Conference. And we also have some much less fun news. We've got to talk about injuries because the injury ghost of Nationwide Arena has returned and it's taken our two top scorers. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit later on. But first, we're going to talk about the win because the Blue Jackets beat the Vegas Golden Knights 6-4, which I'm not going to lie, wasn't expecting that at all. I found out that I knew that they were playing them soon. I didn't realize that it was last night, and I texted my friend about 3 hours before the puck drop. Was like, "Oh, good, we're playing Vegas tonight. That's going to go well." And hey, it did go well. Started great. Patrick Laine on the power play, less than 2 minutes in. Everything's looking good. He was kind of a question mark as whether he would be even playing last night. He took he's got like half a working knee at the minute, and so it's a little bit worrying. Obviously, the Blue Jackets were without Boone and Jakub, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So Brendan Gaunt was back in, and so was Trey Fix-Wolanski on his emergency call-up from Cleveland, which great to see those guys back in the lineup. But Patrick Laine was kind of a question mark. It's good that we were able to play him because I believe he was our last available forward. The Blue Jackets would have had to go 11-7 instead of 12-6. So I'm glad that they didn't have to do that because I don't know that I'm ready for the Gavin Bayreau, the seventh defenseman playing on the wing challenge just yet. And Laine has clearly decided that he is fine, doing A-okay. He has had a pretty good night, I think. Probably could have had at least one or two more goals. It was weird. I thought the goalies were pretty good, despite the final numbers. I was expecting much more chaos. So I think Logan Thompson did a good job shutting Patrick Laine down, apart from that one goal. But the Blue Jackets scored first, which I feel like doesn't happen a lot. So very exciting. Unfortunately, literally a minute and a second later, Jonathan Marchessault scores, and then Will Carrier also scores to make it 2-1 with about 13 minutes left in the period. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be one of those games, and I was right. Cole Sillinger scores his 9th of the season with about 8 minutes left. An assist for Oliver Bjorkstrand, who had a 4-point night. I think that's the second 4-point night of his career. It might be the second 4-point night of the season for him. He is up to 35 points on the season, which after a slow start is looking pretty good. But Cole Sillinger gets his 9th. I believe that was originally Bjorkstrand's goal, and it was changed to Sillinger after the fact. which is good for many reasons. But don't worry, Oliver Bjorkstrand got his own goal about a minute later, makes it 3-2, and they don't really look back after that. That's the end of the first period, and the second period brings two more goals from Cole Sillinger for his first career hat trick. He is the youngest player to record a hat trick since Patrick Laine did it three times in his rookie season back in 2016. He is the second youngest Blue Jacket to ever record a hat trick. I believe it was Nikita Filatov had a hat trick in his rookie season. And he's one of only 13 18-year-olds to score a hat trick at the age of 18. Uh, so that's pretty neat. He's doing. It's weird. He kind of slowed down for a little bit, and there was a game. I don't remember which game it was, but he played very little, and I was mad about it. And at that point, I was like, "Listen, if you're gonna bench him or make him play like 8 minutes a night, send him down to Cleveland. You know, he's waivers exempt. The kid's good. Yeah, it would suck for him not to be able to finish the season as a full-time member of the Blue Jackets, but like if you're gonna like there's no point sitting the kids. Let the kids play. You know, this is something that I've been banging on about all season. And apparently, Cole Sillinger had had enough of not getting a ton of ice time because he scored 3 goals in, I think he played about 16 minutes last night. So hopefully, between that and Igor Chinikov had a really big game a couple of games ago. So again, you love to see that. Every time you think, oh, they've kind of hit that rookie wall, they just find a way to get past it. Cole Sillinger, 18 points on the season, 11 of those are goals. When he really figures out this league, he's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for the next couple of years for Sillinger, for Ken Johnson, for Igor Chinikov, for Kirill Marchenko. Like, the future is so bright with the Blue Jackets. And not even a goal from Evgeny Dodanov to make it 5-3 can dull my good feelings. Jack Eichel tries his best. He scores in the third period to make it 5-4 on the power play, which is extremely annoying. But Eric Robinson, scorer of empty net goals everywhere, manages to put this one on ice with about 11 seconds left, makes it 6-4. You love to see it. You love to see it. In a minute, we're going to talk a little bit more about kind of the team stuff in general and probably a little bit more about Cole Sillinger because I love him and I feel like he deserves to be talked about. So that is coming up next on Locked On Blue Jackets. But first, I'm going to tell you about a brand new sponsor that the Locked On Podcast Network has. I use this product literally every day. I started taking Athletic Greens because I wanted better gut health. I wanted more energy. I hate taking pills, but I wanted something that was going to help me that I could just kind of incorporate into my daily routine. I've been taking it for about a week now, and I feel so much better. I feel more energized. I'm sleeping better. So, what is this? With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Just all of the things that you need to be a healthier human being. Athletic Greens has them in their mix, and it's lifestyle friendly, whether you are keto, paleo, vegan, dairy free, or gluten free. It's low sugar, there's no GMOs, there's no nasty chemicals or artificial anything. It costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than getting a coffee from Starbucks, and it's way better for you. They are a climate neutral certified company as well, which is super cool. In 2020, they purchased carbon credits that support projects protecting old growth rainforest. And for every purchase, they donate to organizations helping to get nutritious food to kids in need, including No Kid Hungry in the United States. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the cold and flu season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. There's no need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1 year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and free five free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL network. Once again, that is athleticgreens.com/NHL network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Welcome back to Locked On Blue Jackets. Thank you for making us your first listen of the day every day, or your first watch of the day every day. We launched on YouTube last week, and I'm super excited about that. So hopefully you guys are as well. So we're gonna talk about some more kind of team-based things next. The Blue Jackets scored a power play goal, which is great. They also allowed a power play goal, which is not so great. The power play has again slowly been trending up, but the penalty kill has kind of been trending down, which is I don't know if it's considered a problem when it wasn't great to begin with. Like, I don't think this is something necessarily to worry about. But I thought the penalty kill was pretty good, honestly. The Blue Jackets actually made it through the first two penalty kills without allowing a shot on goal to Vegas, which is impressive because I always think of Vegas as being really lethal on the power play. Um, they scored on their third attempt, I believe, and then they killed off a late penalty kill to hold on to that 5-4 victory, and it looked pretty good. The Blue Jackets managed to outshoot Vegas, which was again surprising. I think like halfway through the game, they only had 10 shots on goal. Vegas finished with 27 shots on goal. Blue Jackets finished with 38. They beat them in face-offs. They out-hit them, which is whatever. They had 10 blocked shots. They had more takeaways. I don't know. It was a pretty good game for the Blue Jackets. I know I said earlier that the goalies were pretty good. I would have liked Elvis to be a little bit better, but I was talking to my friend about this, and she was like, "Well, it must be hard to only face like 3 shots a period," uh, which the first like I think 3 shots. It was like 8-3 at the start for the first, like, 10 minutes of the game, and then Columbus kind of took over a little bit. Vegas made a big push in the 3rd period, but they couldn't overcome that, and Blue Jackets outshoot them by about 11, which, again, I'm still kind of not used to. It still feels extremely weird to look at the score and be like, "Oh, hey, the Blue Jackets outshot their opponents," but it is what it is. It was a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I don't know that it was the most technically skilled game. I don't know that it was the best hockey that I've ever seen them play, but like it was fun. It was what I wanted, uh, and we won. And for those of you who have been around a little bit longer, I also do some work over for the LA Kings. I do a part-time co-host for Locked On LA Kings with Sarah Avampato, and I also cover the Ontario Reign. And Vegas winning means it's better for the LA Kings, so obviously I'm happy about that. And honestly, I'm kind of now that the season is done, we don't have to play them anymore. Honestly, the funniest way for this to end is for the Vegas Golden Knights to trade their first round pick away to get Eichel and also like 2 top prospects, and then put Mark Stone in timeout until the playoffs. They're Kucherov him, and then they miss the playoffs, and then they don't have their first round pick, and they also missed Mark Stone for the rest of the season when he was arguably their best player, and he probably could have helped them get to the playoffs. I just think that's extremely funny, which probably makes me a bad person, but I don't care. Vegas has had it really good for basically their entire existence. Maybe that's me being petty because the Blue Jackets have not had it good for their entire existence, but it is what it is. It's probably about time for Vegas to face some kind of hardship in terms of their team not being in the playoffs. I'm sure they'll survive, but it'll be interesting to see how Vegas responds to this. I think they came into it thinking it was probably going to be an easy-ish game. They again did the thing where they played their backups backup. Robin Lehner is out with an injury at the minute, so they played Logan Thompson, who was doing really well down in Henderson. Actually, I've covered him down there, obviously, they play the Ontario Reign a lot. He's quite a good young goalie, but the Blue Jackets kind of made them pay for putting their third string goalie in net, which, hey, if they want to do that, I am a-okay with that. Uh, Blue Jackets continue to kind of sit a little bit out of the playoff picture. I think this is probably where they're going to finish. Like one spot outside of the wild card. I believe Tankathon has them picking 13th overall at the minute, which, I mean, hopefully the lottery can get us a little bit lower. Chicago, I think, is currently sitting at 6th or 7th. So, again, two top 15 picks is not to be not to be sneezed at, honestly. And maybe the Blue Jackets will fall down a little bit. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. It's still not out of reach. They are 11 points back at Washington. Washington has kind of figured it out in the last couple of games, whereas Columbus has kind of stumbled a little bit. Um, but Columbus is on a little win streak at the minute. Obviously, the injuries, which we're going to talk about in a minute, are going to be a problem. I was fully expecting this game to kind of be ooh, I was kind of expecting this game to kind of be a nightmare in terms of, well, everything, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, or in just a minute, actually. In a minute, we are going to talk about the injury news for Columbus. Obviously, losing Jakub Voracek for any amount of time is bad. Losing Boone for what sounds like week to week with an injury that we're going to talk about. That's coming up in a minute on Locked On Blue Jackets. But first, I've got to tell you about Bet Online because Bet Online is the place for sports betting. It's that time of year again. It's March Madness. College basketball tournament is finally upon us, and from all the latest odds, contests, and player props, betonline.net is the number one source for all of your sports betting needs and info. BetOnline remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. Because BetOnline is where the game starts. And I've also got to tell you about Built Bar, because Built Bar is delicious, it's nutritious, it is a protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. Most candy bars are super unhealthy. Most protein bars are not good. They are chalky, they are waxy, they don't taste like what the label says they're going to taste like. But Built Bar is none of those things. Built Bar is a healthy and delicious protein bar that is just a real treat. Uh, my personal favorite is the Built Puff, which is the first ever protein infused marshmallow. They are fluffy, they are soft, they are chewy. They are not just a protein bar, they are a treat. And they're covered in 100% real chocolate, like every Built Bar flavor is. They are low calorie, they are high protein. You should replace all of your candy bars with these. They're better, they are healthier. I can't say enough how much I like Built Bar. And I feel like everyone and people say this about all of the protein bars, but Built Bar really means it. And here's the best bit. If you go to built.com, use promo code locked15 and get 15% off your order. Once again, that's promo code locked15 for 15% off at built.com. So we've talked about the good news, we've talked about the okay news, and now we have to talk about the bad news, which is Boone Jenner was missing from this game. He is week to week with a back issue. Boone Jenner, I believe, has a long-standing back condition. He's missed time twice already in his career. He missed almost half the season in 2015 due to I think it was a stress fracture in his back, which sounds horrific, honestly. So hopefully it's not that bad. Apparently he's been dealing with it for a while. It flared up after the game against Minnesota, so he's going to be out for a little while, which is just such a shame after the season he was having. Everyone was so excited about how he was going to get back to 30 goals, and he might not make it back this season, which is such a big loss, which I know, but you don't generally look at Boone Jenner, I don't think, and think, "Oh, man, this guy is such a key piece of this team," but he has had such a phenomenal season. He's stabilized the center position for this team. Whether or not you think he is a good player or whether he's doing all of the right things, he has kind of found a home between, uh, Patrick Laine and whoever plays on the other wing, depending on what night it is. So I think that's going to be a real loss. He's a real loss on the power play, and he's the captain, and it sucks because he was having a really good season. So I think that's probably going to start to have an impact pretty soon. The Blue Jackets did pretty well last night without him or Voracek in the lineup, but that's like I say, that's a big loss for this team. And so is the loss of Jake Voracek, who I don't believe we have a timetable on yet. He took a nasty knee hit from Marcus Foligno, who didn't get a penalty at the time, and I believe was fined $5,000, which is the maximum allowable under the CBA. Blah blah blah. Um, it's it's so frustrating. The Department of Player Safety is useless. What are they for? Legitimately, what are they for? Marcus Foligno just got back from kneeing someone on February, mid-February, so 10 games ago. He needs someone and missed a couple of games, and now they've looked at this and thought, "Oh, okay, well, this is fine. We don't need to do anything. We're gonna give him a slap on the wrist, charge him $5,000, and send him on his way." And the Blue Jackets are without their best playmaker. Honestly, I would say their MVP this season. Obviously what Patrick Laine is doing is incredible, but Jake Voracek has come into this team. He's fit right in. He's done exactly what we've asked him to do and more. He's got 40 assists on the season and 2 goals or something crazy like that. He's been a veteran presence. He's helped the younger kids. He spent a bunch of time earlier this season on a line with Sillinger and Jakub, our two youngest players. And again, it's like Boone Jenner. He was having a really good season, and now he's out for however long, and it sucks. And the team is worse without him. Um, and the power play is going to struggle without him. The scoring is going to struggle without him. Who's going to pass the puck to Patrick Laine if Voracek isn't there? It's just a really tough situation to lose both of those players at once. Justin Danforth is going to be out for a little while as well. There's no update on him. Adam Boquist, I believe, could be back soon, which is good news because the defense is looking a little shaky. I think we could all use some Adam Boquist defense in our lives. And then the other bit of lineup news is Alexander Texier, who broke his finger, and I think it was about 6 weeks ago he broke his finger. He has not resumed skating yet. He has gone back to France, I assume, to rehab. It came out at the end of last week, I think, that he has suffered some personal losses, some bereavements. So he's taken a personal leave of absence, and so he probably won't be back for a while. So all of the best to him and his family. I hope that they are getting the support that they need. I hope he's doing okay. And if we don't see him again this season, it'll be a shame because again, he was having a really good season, but family is what's important, and I am never going to blame a player for stepping away from this team, from this sport to be with his family. So I think that's all of the update on who's missing. Uh, no doubt more people will be added to that because the injury curse has returned, which is extremely annoying. I thought we were free of it finally, but apparently not. Blue Jackets, injury cursed, always. I don't know what they have to do, like sacrifice a goat to center ice, maybe, but smudge the entire arena with sage. I don't know, but they should probably try to do something because the ghosts apparently are getting angry again, and that makes me a little nervous. Um, but that's all I've got for you today. Tomorrow, I have got another prospect profile for you. I sat down with Joel Edmondson of Puck Perks to talk about a couple of WHL players. So tomorrow we are going to be doing a draft profile on Connor Geeky, who is a just a really giant teenager who is a lot of fun to watch. So we're going to be looking at him, seeing where he could fall in the draft lineup, whether he's going to be available for the Blue Jackets, whether he would fit in on this team, and we have some fun with it. So that's tomorrow, and we'll get back to some Blue Jackets coverage on Wednesday with a preview for the Ottawa Senators game coming up. But I've been Jay Foster. You can find me on Twitter at _Jakub Foster. If you're watching YouTube, you can find it down here now because it's right here. That's how to spell it. You can find me. You can find the show over at LO_Blue Jackets. If you have comments, questions, criticisms, you can email me at lockedonbluejackets@gmail.com. Thank you for making this your first listen of the day. Locked On Blue Jackets is free and available on every podcast app you can think of and on YouTube. So please go subscribe over on YouTube. We've got some exciting things coming for YouTube. And when I hit 100 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway. So there's going to be more information about that coming on Twitter and in the next couple of episodes. We'll be talking a little bit more about that, but I'm really excited about it. Hopefully you guys are as well. Make sure you go and subscribe over on YouTube if you want the chance to win some cool stuff. And I think that's everything. Thank you for listening. And until tomorrow, make sure you stay locked on.